I know people want me to do the game theory videos outside, but I don't know if you can hear it. It's actually lightly raining, so we're going to be in here. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. So, a topic that I've talked about before is, the progression of video games, fighting games. Where are they going? Where can they go? And I always say it's hard because there's only so much you can do in the 2D medium, right? That's why, especially when we're talking about archetypical characters and what we can do with characters, especially when we're so many years from the original Street Fighter 2, that nowadays the dangers of progression have blurred these archetypical characters, and every character is almost just a different shade of gray. It feels like half the time, which then homogenizes characters even more, right? So, because of the problems with characters and everything like that and progression, I've said before, one of the only new things we can do with fighting games is the system, which is an example of why Dragon Ball Fighter Z was such a drop ball, because system wise, it's one of the only new things you can actually do to a fighting game, a 2D fighting game, to actually make it new, right? And Dragon Ball Fighter Z actually allowed you to actually add in some new archetypical characters, right? Because of the system specifically. Drop ball, but it is what it is. So, I said before, so where can Street Fighter go? And I made the video about how I would change Street Fighter, some ideas, and it would work, right? I am. I'm pretty smart for some reason. I don't know how I do it. I don't know, dude. I just have a knack. I'm retarded. I'm retarded, but I know a thing about fighting games. You know what I mean? It's my cross to bear, I guess, right? But so I made the videos about Street Fighter 2, what I would do for a Street Fighter system. But one of the drop balls that I always think in this topic and what Capcom should do is, I've said it so many times, is if you do not have the fucking Marvel license anymore, just like there was a Capcom Fighting Jam before, you shouldn't have made Capcom Fighting Jam a 2D game or a normal Street Fighter 2-ish game. You should have made Capcom Fighting Jam a verse style game, dude, right? And that's what they should do. Since you don't have the Marvel license anymore, dude, make a new verse style game, Capcom All Stars, right? Easy, dude. And people might be like, oh, well, you need those Marvel characters because they're more crazy, whatever. I don't think that's true whatsoever, dude. You can make so many crazy Capcom characters, dude. They have such a diverse library of different characters to pull from. So if I was doing, you think about fighting games nowadays, you know what I mean? They're 3, 5 year generation of a series, right? If we don't have like a Marvel's Capcom series, whatever, for so long now, dude, why aren't you doing like the Capcom All Star Verse style game? Put in every Capcom character that you've ever had from any of this bullshit. Marvel 1, Marvel 2, Marvel 3, Marvel's Capcom Infinite, and that fucking Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. That game had a few characters that were not in any others. It had the Batsu, right? It had the girl laser gun hat thing, right? Whatever the fuck she had. I think she had a couple what the fuck is that girl's name? I don't remember. She's in the game, right? I think. Unless my memory's not certain, right? Had fucking Mega Man Legends dude in it. Had fucking Axel. Axel? Axel. Axel. No, what's his name? Alex. Alex was in it. Whatever, dude, right? So you have all these characters. Excuse me. And then what you do is you put in some other weird characters, dude. You have like 15 characters that had never been in the series before. You got a character like fucking Grandmaster from Strider. He's taking place of your character that flies around, shoots out laser beams or some bullshit. Put in Strider Hien for another crazy ninja character. Put in Nero from Devil May Cry. So fucking obvious. You could put in a couple more Street Fighter characters that haven't been in before. Personally, or a Final Fight character. Personally, I would like Guy because I think he's cool. But I do think a character like Rolento would probably work better than Guy. But put in Guy for me. You know what I mean? You could put in Urine and Gil. Those characters, you could definitely verse style them up. I think they're dumb, but I think you could see that you could probably put them in a verse style game, right? Put in some of the Red Earth characters. Make the fucking T-Rex, dinosaur, Megazord, where the fuck that dinosaur, he's like a dinosaur with a fin or some shit. Where the fuck he had, an iguanosaur? What's his name? I don't know his name, but he's like a T-Rex. He's got little baby things. He's like Juggernaut in the game. Put in a couple other Red Earth characters. Think of some other Capcom games that you want to put in a couple bizarre characters, and then make the villain of the game. And I don't know how much leeway Capcom has with the license, but even when they use a game like, say, whenever they use Strider, it says Capcom and Moto Kikaku or some Kikaku, whatever the fuck it is, because they own some of the rights of Strider. I would be interested in how much, um, how much would it cost, or how much does Capcom own of Namco versus Capcom? And the characters Jamu, Reiji, and Saya. Those characters just scream to be in a verse style game. Make Saya the main villain of the game, right? Look at that character's moveset. She's got the little ice sword. She's not jacking you off, but if it looks funnier, assume I'm jacking you off. You know what I mean? She's got the little like ice sword dagger. Da, 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 da. It's like 100 hand slaps. She's got the DP fire move, whatever it is. Whatever move is electricity, double swipe. I forget which is which. That character just screams you could put them in a fighting game. Xiaomu and Reiji, you can put them in a game. So she's time traveling, whatever. She's fucking up the world again. Ruby Heart, does Ruby Heart time travel on her boat? Noah's Ark, where the fuck her boat shit is? You know what I mean? If you need another big juggernaut character, maybe the boss in Starglider. I don't know. The point is, or you could put in that again, the Lin Kurosawa. What is the Lin from the Alien vs Predator games? People are always like, we want this character in a game. How much does Capcom have to do they have to give a little small licensing fee? Same that they do with Strider, right? Point is, verse style game, Capcom All Stars. You need another generation of verse games. It's hard to progress games. There's not much you can do besides changing the system. So you have a system that works. The verse style. I personally don't care about verse games. They've never been games that I've really played. They don't really interest me per se. I just do combos again because I can do them, right? You know what I mean? But I think anyone that knows me, I'm not like a verse player series, but I can appreciate that specific genre of the medium, so to speak, or that sort of subset of the genre, however you want to phrase it. Easy, dude. Put in those characters, dude. I mean, Zhao and Reiji, those characters are so cool. Such fucking cool characters, right? That's what I feel like is a drop ball. And then another more obscure thing is I always think that, you know what I mean? I would not mind if Guilty Gear gave over the license or a little bit of a leeway. Fuck King of Fighters, dude. King of Fighters is so terrible to me, dude. King of Fighters is so bad to me, dude. Oh, God. Everything, they are not reinventing the genre, dude. I feel like the most interesting thing that King of Fighters has done to try to make the system different is that one King of Fighter game that died or didn't do very well. Was it King of Fighters 11, when if you hit a counter hit, you went into a small custom combo mode for a few seconds? That was kind of interesting, but in general, everything just juggles. King of Fighters is so fucking dry, boring, lacks charisma, and I always feel like Guilty Gear is it's the happy medium of being a Street Fighter game, respecting Street Fighter, and not going full-blown Marvel. And I think it would be fun to see King of Fighter characters in a game like that. Any character, even Street Fighter characters, of course, as well. For sure, you could do that. But yeah, and I use the example of, say, Kai has a big fireball, right? So knocks you down, sweep, big fireball. What if Iori doesn't have a big fireball, but he has the 8 wine glass super? What if Iori has a 8 wine glass, after sweep, kind of like Kai? He sweeps you and he does the 8 wine glasses and he gets the mix up like kind of like a big fire. You know what I mean? Do something with it, right? Guilty Gear, Guilty Gear is like, we made a great system here. You only have 4 buttons anyway. King of Fire only has 4 buttons. Let's make it work. We love you, King of Fighters. Didn't Daisuke Shibutaro used to work for SNK? Throw SNK a bone. They are devoid of any fucking new idea anyway now, dude. Give him a bone, Daisuke. You know what I mean? King of Fighters fucking sucks now. I'm serious. No charm whatsoever. It's terrible. It's amazing to me that people still think King of Fighters is interesting. So, anyway, I think those are 2 ideas of drop balls that people should be doing, right? Remember, if you like the videos, sub, the comment, share, support the channel if you want. That's for the 2% female viewership. Little nipple pinch. The end.